We're diving into a shocking, emotional, and unfolding drama that's rocking the internet and dividing fans around the globe. We're talking about a heated clash involving Iman Shumpert, Aaron, and Teyana Taylor. A story of co-parenting tensions, emotional boundaries, and a child caught in the middle. This is more than just a celebrity spat. This is a family dispute spilling into public view, with consequences that may last a lifetime. Let's break it all down. It all started on what should have been just another peaceful afternoon. Reports say Iman Shumpert was out when he unexpectedly saw Aaron, Teyana's rumored boyfriend, standing near his daughter in a public space, allegedly outside a restaurant in Los Angeles. The moment Iman caught sight of Aaron, everything changed. According to multiple witnesses, a man's mood shifted instantly. The atmosphere turned tense, and without hesitation, he confronted Aaron. What followed was a verbal altercation so intense that strangers began filming. In one viral but quickly deleted video, Iman can be heard shouting, "Respect my boundaries, she's my child." That energy was raw, powerful, and deeply emotional. You could tell this wasn't about the moment itself, it was about everything that came before it. To understand how we got here, you have to understand the backstory. Iman Shumpert and Teyana Taylor once appeared to be the ideal couple, talented, attractive, and parenting a beautiful daughter. But as their romantic relationship cooled off, the challenges of co-parenting came into focus. Then came Aaron. Aaron reportedly entered Teyana's life after her separation from Iman. At first, he was just around. But as his relationship with Teyana grew, so did his involvement with her daughter. For Iman, that didn't sit right, and here's the critical point. Insiders claim Iman directly warned Aaron to stay away from his daughter until the legal and emotional dust settled. It wasn't a threat, it was a father drawing a line. But whether Aaron ignored it or underestimated its seriousness, he crossed that line. And for Iman, that was the ultimate betrayal. Aaron, according to friends, didn't believe his presence was causing harm. He believed his intentions were misunderstood and that his growing relationship with Teyana naturally meant developing a connection with her daughter. But boundaries exist for a reason, especially in sensitive family dynamics. We've all heard it before, don't mess with a parent when it comes to their child. Iman didn't just snap out of nowhere. His frustration had been simmering for weeks, maybe even months. He's known as a dedicated and hands-on father, and according to close sources, he's always believed that any major decision around his daughter should go through both him and Teyana. Aaron, in his eyes, was an outsider. A man with no legal or familial connection to the child. So when Iman spotted Aaron near his daughter that day, after his clear request had been ignored, it wasn't just frustrating. It was a direct challenge to his fatherhood, his authority, and his ability to protect what he values most. The public argument wasn't just about presence. It was about power, trust, and respect. Iman had reached his breaking point, and unfortunately, that moment happened in full view of the public. What about Teyana? She wasn't physically there during the altercation, but the news reached her immediately. Sources close to her say she was deeply shaken and angry, not necessarily at Iman or Aaron, but at the entire situation. Teyana has always tried to shield her daughter from chaos. She values peace, routine, and emotional stability. But in recent weeks, that stability has started to crumble under the pressure of blurred lines, new relationships, and unspoken expectations. She knows Aaron cares for her daughter and means no harm. But she also knows that Iman has every right to feel disrespected. Now, she's reportedly reevaluating everything, from who gets access to her daughter to what kind of boundaries need to be formally established to avoid another public meltdown. It's a tough position, caught between two men who both claim to be acting out of love, but who clearly can't coexist peacefully. According to insiders, Teyana was especially upset that her daughter, who had been with a family friend at the time, witnessed part of the confrontation. This has reportedly led to some serious internal conversations about prioritizing emotional well-being over personal loyalty or romantic involvement. When those video clips hit social media, the internet went into meltdown mode. People quickly aligned into two camps, #Team Iman and #Team Aaron. Iman's defenders say his outburst was the natural reaction of a father who felt blindsided and disrespected. They argue that Aaron should have never crossed that boundary in the first place and that Iman's explosion was the result of emotional buildup, not malice. Aaron's supporters, on the other hand, argue that he's being unfairly vilified. To them, he's just a man who's been loving and supportive, and who's now being painted as the villain simply because he got too close. They question why Iman didn't address this in private instead of making it a public spectacle. Comment sections across TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit turned into battle zones. Some fans even criticized Teyana for not setting clearer boundaries earlier, placing her daughter in an unstable triangle. Meanwhile, several celebrity figures chimed in as well. Some sided with Iman, calling him a protective and passionate dad, while others suggested all parties needed therapy, mediation, and a serious timeout from airing family business in public. Now here's where things take a serious turn. Insiders say that Iman is considering legal action. He's been reportedly consulting lawyers to understand what rights he has in terms of controlling who interacts with his daughter, particularly individuals not legally tied to her. This could result in court-ordered boundaries, formal visitation rules, or even restraining orders if things escalate further. If Iman goes through with this, it could set a legal precedent in high-profile co-parenting disputes involving step-figures and romantic partners. At the same time, Teyana is said to be weighing her own options. She may soon be forced to legally define her daughter's access to people outside the immediate family unit, simply to prevent another explosive situation. And Aaron? He's been silent. No statement, no interviews. And that silence is only adding fuel to the speculation. Sources say he is debating whether or not to break his silence and release a public statement, but fears it may reignite tensions or lead to further legal complications. For now, his team is reportedly drafting something, but no decision has been finalized. Here's why this story matters. This isn't just celebrity drama. It's a glimpse into what happens when boundaries, emotions, and ego collide in a co-parenting situation. It's a story about love, yes, but also about the pain of watching your child caught in a war between adults who should know better. It's also a story that's all too familiar. Blended families are increasingly common, and the challenges that come with them are rarely talked about. But when emotional lines are crossed, whether intentional or not, the damage can be deep and lasting. Children absorb energy, especially tension. They notice the anger, the silence, and the distance. And when their world is shaken by adult conflict, they internalize it in ways we often don't understand until years later. Iman, Aaron, and Teyana now face a choice. Do they dig in and let this feud define their future? Or do they step back, reassess, and find a path that puts the child first, above feelings, frustrations, and fears? Because at the end of the day, the real victim here isn't Aaron. It's not Iman. It's not even Teyana. It's the child who didn't ask to be in the middle of a battle she can't possibly understand. So what do you think? Did Iman go too far? Did Aaron cross a line? And how should Teyana navigate this incredibly difficult situation moving forward? Let us know in the comments below. We want to hear from you.